Hello, folks, and welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. Another story out of South Africa, one I've previously reported on, a very strange situation in which the opposition party, now part of the Government of National Unity, the Democratic Alliance, has shown sheer hypocrisy in its treatment of events in South Africa and members of political parties. And one must ask the question, why? Why the disparity in its treatment of people within its party? Well, internal politics most likely play a role, but let's talk about this story. News headline today, Councillor Raybin Figland has tendered his resignation as deputy mayor of George, effective 31 January 2025. Now, this reads the storyline from News 24. That's nearly 2 months from now. Why not with immediate effect? If this gentleman must resign for conduct, why does he stay in office for 2 more months? News 24 reported this news story today, the 9th of December, 3 days after the Independent Online reported this story. Now, I often call the Independent Online the toilet paper record, but at least they reported a newsworthy story in a timely fashion. Was News 24 taking the weekend off? And in my case, I wasn't. I was doing rugby all weekend, so that's why I didn't cover the story. George Municipality spokesman Chantel Edwards said that the George Municipality confirms that Figland has tendered his resignation as deputy mayor effective 31 January 2025. Figland will continue to serve as a proportional representative councillor following this date. Come again? Continue to serve? Why? If his conduct was so egregious that he has to resign, what entitles him to draw 2 months more salary and to be entrusted with making decisions on behalf of constituents when it's apparently a case of him not being trustworthy? Why does the Democratic Alliance tolerate this? Good Party councillor in George, Chantel Kidd, said the party welcomes Figland's resignation. However, the Good Party is surprised that it took Figland and the DA this long to do the right thing. Kidd said that moments before a motion of no confidence brought to council by the Good Party, Deputy Mayor resigned. Hardly a coincidence. Now, Figland's troubles stem from allegations that he asked a 19-year-old matric pupil to send him nude photographs of herself, which she did. The student is also purportedly a relative of Figland, which makes the story even more salacious and creepy, to say the least. Back in March of 2024, long before the fake controversy surrounding Member of Parliament Ronaldo Gos and the subsequent public character assassination of Gos, chairperson of the DA's federal council, Helen Zille, confirmed that Figland was being accused of unbecoming and improper conduct. Remember those charges, unbecoming and improper conduct. Now, Zille refused to respond to rumors about why this only surfaced in March of 2024, nearly 2 years after the alleged conduct took place. The complaint, of course, is related to Figland's alleged relationship with a 19-year-old matriculant in 2021. Allegations include the sending of improper photos to Figland by the 19-year-old. Figland, who's married, was separated from his wife at the time the alleged sexting took place. There were screenshots of WhatsApp messages brought to the Democratic Alliance's attention. At the time, the party recommended that Figland be criminally charged and disciplined internally. Okay, March of 2024, nearly a year ago. In March, the DA suspended Figland from all party activities pending the outcome of the disciplinary hearing. Well, that would be the normal process. Okay, that's what they did in the Gos case. However, in late 2024, the Democratic Alliance wrapped up its internal disciplinary process and found that Figland had no criminal liability and could not be found guilty. He wasn't charged with crimes. He was charged with unbecoming and improper conduct. And you're stating that the text messages you have are not prima facie evidence of his guilt? You don't need beyond reasonable doubt. This is a political party, not a court of law. Wow. Unbelievable. This is interesting, folks, since the role of a political party is not to be law enforcement, but rather to determine if the accused broke DA rules or if his conduct brought disrepute to the party, as they bogusly claimed Ronaldo Gos did. Now, the DA said they were unable to proceed with their internal investigation because the alleged victim was not willing to participate in the giving of evidence, according to Kidd from the Good Party. She also said despite a damning initial investigation done by the DA's own federal legal commission, the same folks who looked into Ronaldo's case, the DA's internal disciplinary process lifted his internal party suspension. During the DA's federal legal commission, Glennis Breitenbach interviewed the victim, her father, and Figland. The findings define Figland as someone who lies without hesitation, according to Kidd. That's what the DA released themselves, and Kidd is simply repeating that. So that doesn't make any sense. He was accused of unbecoming and improper conduct, and an internal investigation found that the man was lying without hesitation. So why is he even still in the DA? Why was he allowed to continue as a member, and especially a proportional seat? That's a seat that the party gets. Now, Figland was supposed to face a motion of no confidence tabled by the Good Party in council last Friday, December 6, 2024. But rather than face the music, he chose to resign just hours before the motion could be deliberated. When the media contacted him, Figland had the following to say. It was a personal decision. New challenges came my way. The DA gave me a fair chance and showed through the investigation that they respect the separation of power when it comes to party politics and governance. Except they don't respect the separation of power when it comes to party politics and governance. If they did, then the initial findings of the investigation around Ojos would have meant that he remained in the party and not be removed from parliament. But the DA has conspired and covered up the events that took place. Is this a political party you're willing to put your trust behind? One has to begin to ask questions. Did it protect creepy, salacious behavior and kick people out because words hurt people because they're political cowards? Well, the DA is a woke party. Western Cape ANC spokesman Khalid Syed said, "We're concerned that it had to get to this point. We are disappointed that the DA did not instruct him to resign early before issues got into the public domain. While I do appreciate Mr. Syed's concern, I do, however, take exception to his point about it entering the public domain. That is exactly where this should be, for everyone to see. As long as the identity of the young person involved is protected, his conduct should be exposed to the light of day. Sunshine is the best anesthetic to misbehaving." Now, Mr. Figland has not denied the allegations against him publicly to any point at this stage. Why will he remain in office until January 31st? Raybin Figland should resign with immediate effect, and the Democratic Alliance should boot him out of the party. And there needs to be an internal investigation inside the Democratic Alliance to see why it protected this man for so long and why it has such hypocritical standards when it comes to conduct. Raybin Figland, the deputy mayor of George, accused of sexual misconduct, and the prima facie evidence is in the DA's hands. Yet he's not kicked out of the party and not forced to resign. He chose to resign of his own accord when he was about to be embarrassed publicly by the Good Party. Yet the DA kicks Ronaldo Ojos out of their party for conduct 14 years ago, before he even became a member of the Democratic Alliance. They vetted him. They ran him as a candidate in Nelson Mandela Bay, where he served for many years as a ward councillor. Then they vetted him again, and they put him on the list to become a member of parliament, and they made him a member of parliament. And then the cowardly Democratic Alliance, when the woke crowd raised its head and the fake media lied about what happened, they bowed like cowards. Yet here we have someone who's sending sex messages to a almost child. I don't want to hear the nonsense about the person is 19. They're still in school. That's highly inappropriate. And what about the salacious nature that this is a relative of the accused? Now, if Mr. Figland denies these allegations, that would be a different story. But we've heard no such thing. The DA, you need to question yourself, folks. What are you up to? What do you stand for? Right? What's right, moral, and just? I don't think so. At least it doesn't appear that way to the public. What say you, folks? Feel free to leave a comment behind. God bless and have a good day. Oh, and Merry Christmas.